Hello students. So today we will discuss our next topic, which is mechanical force of charged surface or mechanical force on the surface of a charged conductor. Okay, as we are discussing conductor, so we know the properties of conductor, that the charge resides on the surface of a conductor. Inside a conductor there will be no charge. This we know, okay, as per our previous knowledge of plus 2. Okay, the charge inside a conductor is always 0. Okay, so also we know the similar charges repel each other. Okay, positive will repel positive and negative will repel negative. Okay, so therefore what will happen, the charge on any part of the conductor is repelled by the charge on its remaining part. Okay, now let us consider a charged conductor of any shape in a dielectric medium of permittivity epsilon as shown in this figure. Okay, and consider a small area ds of a charged conductor, and let sigma be the surface charge density on this area ds. Okay, therefore the charge on area ds will be q into sigma ds. And now assume 2 points p and q. Okay, p is outside and near the surface ds, and q is inside and near the surface. Okay, and now according to the Gauss law, the electric field intensity at point P due to charge conducting surface is given by, electric field E will be given by this value sigma over epsilon. Okay, where sigma is the surface charge density, okay, and epsilon is the permittivity of the medium. Okay, and now let E1 be the intensity due to the charge on area ds, and E2 be the intensity due to the charge on the remaining conductor. Okay, we have divided this conductor into two parts. One, the small area which we have considered, okay, and other is the remaining charge conductor. Okay, so the electric field due to this surface area which we have considered is E1, and the electric field due to the remaining conductor is E2. This we have considered. Okay, so now if we calculate the electric field intensity at P due to both these surfaces, that will be total E will be E1 plus E2, because this is the electric field intensity due to the positive charge on the conductor. Okay, and the electric field we always know for a positive charge is outward, is in the outward direction. Okay, so E1 and E2 will be in same direction, so therefore total E due to both these surfaces will be E1 plus E2, and which is sigma by epsilon. Okay, but for the point Q, okay, for the point Q, the E1 electric field will be in inward direction and E2 will be in outward direction. Okay, because electric field is always, we see for any surface it is outward normal. Now for this point Q, we are looking at this area ds from inside, and for that the normal will be in this direction. Okay, the normal for the outward normal of an surface area is always outward normal. Okay, so that will be in this direction, so therefore the E1 will be in this direction and E2 will be in this direction. Okay, so for the inside point Q, the electric field are in opposite direction, so the total electric field at Q will be E1 minus E2, the difference of these two electric field. Okay, this value. And again, as we already know, we discussed from the property of the charge conductor that the total charge at any point inside the charge conductor is always 0. Okay, so therefore the electric field intensity inside the charge conductor has to be 0. So this E1 plus minus E2 is equal to 0. The electric field intensity at point Q has to be 0. Okay, so that means this E1 has to be equal to E2. This we got it. Okay, and now because E1 is equal to E2, now substitute this in this equation. Okay, what we will get, E will be twice of E2, which is sigma over epsilon, or E2 will be sigma by 2 epsilon, or similarly we can draw this result for E1 as well. Okay, if we replace E2 with E1 in this equation, then we will get this result. Okay, so now charge element is situated in an electric field E2, hence the element ds is pushed outward by the charges on the remaining area. Okay, the charges we have considered, they are put in this area ds. Okay, this as this small area, so this area will be pushed outward due to the remaining portion of the conductor. Okay, this will push this area outward. Okay, thus the charge element experiences a force perpendicular to its surface and it is directed outward. Okay, and the magnitude of this force will be equal to, mechanical force will be equal to the charge on area ds. Okay, that is dq, charge on area ds, and the electric field intensity to the charge on remaining area of the conductor. Okay, so force will be this, this will be dq yeah, so mechanical force will be charge on area ds into electric field intensity due to charge on remaining area of the conductor. Okay, so force will be this dq into electric field due to the remaining area of the conductor. Okay, and this dq we already defined. Okay, this will be sigma, we have defined dq by ds. Okay, the charge density. Okay, so dq will be sigma into ds, so this will become sigma ds into E2. Okay, fine. So this will be force on conductor will be sigma ds into E2. Okay, and this E2 we have already calculated. This E2 we have calculated is nothing but this value sigma by 2 epsilon. Okay, so substitute E2 in this equation, what we will get, sigma ds into sigma by 2 epsilon, and this will become sigma square ds by 2 epsilon. Okay, sigma square ds by 2 epsilon. Now if we calculate the force per unit area, okay, say we call it as f dash, so f by ds will be sigma square 2 epsilon. Okay, so this is the expression for mechanical force per unit area on a charged conductor. Okay, hence the force per unit area of the charged surface is also known as electric pressure. Okay, this term is also known as electric pressure, which is given by PE. Okay, so f dash will be PE, so therefore PE will be sigma square by 2 epsilon. Okay, as we know 2 epsilon is a constant because epsilon is the permittivity of the medium. Okay, so pressure will be directly proportional to sigma square. Okay, so and also as we know that the electric field intensity at a point just near and outside the conductor will be sigma by epsilon. Okay, now substitute this sigma with this epsilon E, so this PE will become epsilon E square by 2 epsilon, or that will become 1 by 2 epsilon E square, where epsilon is the permittivity and E is the electric field intensity at that point. Okay, so in terms of dielectric constant, it can be written as this epsilon is the permittivity of a medium. Okay, so it can be written as 1 by 2 k epsilon 0 E square, where k is the dielectric constant which is given by epsilon 0. From this epsilon will become k into epsilon 0. So we have just replaced this epsilon with this k epsilon 0. Okay, so this is a very important expression. Okay, very important expression, not only again for your university syllabus but for competitive exam as well. Okay, the electric pressure or the electric mechanical force per unit area of a charged conductor is given by 1 by 2 k epsilon 0 E square. Okay, next, now we'll move to our another topic. Okay, or we say the last topic of this unit. Okay, first unit, which is the energy density of electric field. Okay, so the energy stored per unit volume of the electric field is called energy density. Okay, energy stored per unit volume of the electric field is called energy density, and it is known fact that the electric energy of a charged conductor resides only in the medium surrounding the charge. Okay, now we have already derived an expression for the mechanical force per unit area experienced by the charged surface in a dielectric medium of permittivity epsilon, and it was given by PE is equal to 1 by 2 epsilon E square. This we have already calculated in our last article. Okay, now consider the small area element ds as shown in figure, this one. Okay, as shown in this figure, small area ds. Okay, the force on this element area will be this PEDS. Okay, and where P is 1 by half epsilon E square ds. Now let the surface area ds be moved through a small distance dx against the force F, then the work done on it given by, okay, because there is a force acting on this area. Okay, so due to that we have considered, suppose this area has shifted by a small distance dx, okay, which is here we have, okay, from this position to this position, this has been shifted a small distance dx. Okay, so the work done will be this, work done will be force into distance. Okay, so force is 1 by 2 epsilon square ds into dx. ds is the distance which we have considered, this area has been shifted. Okay, so now the work done in sweeping across per unit volume of the electric field will be given by work by volume swept. Okay, so total work will be this value, this we have calculated, divided by volume swept. Volume swept will be ds into dx. Okay, ds is the area element which we have considered here. Okay, see, ds is this volume, okay, and dx is this value, this distance. So volume will be this ds into dx, area into length, that will be the volume. Okay, so w dash will be this value 1 by half epsilon E square ds dx divided by ds dx. So this will get cancelled out, so w dash will be 1 by half epsilon E square. Okay, this is the work done per unit volume, which appears as the energy stored per unit volume of the medium in the form of strain energy. Okay, this is what, this is nothing but the energy stored per unit volume of electric field and called energy density of the electric field, and this energy is stored as the energy of strain in the medium, strain energy. Okay, in some cases strain is so large that the medium gets punctured, and the electric field at which a medium gets punctured is called its dielectric strength. Okay, and it must be avoided to keep the dielectric medium safe. Okay, so with this we have completed our first unit, and I hope you have understand the concept. And if you have any doubt, then you are always welcome on our WhatsApp group, and also while coming to the classes we can discuss your issues. Thank you.